Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is me Ananya Shivastav and you guys are watching me. So now that the exam season has already started and everybody has probably have their midterms going on and everything, maybe your exams are going to start, maybe they've already started or maybe they are going on. So the most important thing which you require for an examination is your memory. So here I am with few tips which can probably help you enhance your memorization and help you ace that exam or maybe help you in your life generally. So let's get started. So before starting, we need to first understand what memory actually is. It's the retention of knowledge over time. There are basically three types of memory: sensory memory, working or short-term memory, and long-term memory. So you might have a little idea about what short-term and long-term memory is, but maybe you're a little confused about what sensory memory is actually about. So sensory memory is basically the ability to look at an object and remember how it looked like by just a second of an observation or memory. So for example, for a sensory memory can be, for example, you're just going out, just for a walk and you're seeing a tree, you're seeing a building and everything, but after a while you'll forget about it. That's what sensory memory is. The things you look around everywhere, you might not remember it always. It can be visual as well as auditory. But if you go on a walk and come across to your childhood friend, you will remember that walk forever. That's how you shifted your sensory memory into the long-term memory. And now I will give you a few tips and ways by which you can shift your sensory memory or a short-term memory into the long-term memory. So let's go. So now let's just imagine a brain like a bottle with a thin neck. So now if you overload that bottle with a bunch of information, let's just say sensory memory, lots of sensory memory. We took an example of you going on a walk. If you go on a walk, you saw a tree, a building, a person and everything just going in there, and you're gonna forget it after a while. But as I told you, you saw your childhood friend, and that particular memory just went inside the long-term memory. So what is basically special with that particular memory that it entered the long-term memory? Well, it has a prior relationship with your own memory itself, which is why you remembered it for a longer time and you're going to remember it probably for your whole entire life. So how can we basically apply this in our studies? Well, there's a way. So you just need to have a prior knowledge about the topic your teacher is going to teach. Well, to do that, you can either go through the topic or go through the particular paragraph, but I don't think that's going to help much. Either you can tell someone elder than you who has studied all this to give you a brief explanation of what that topic is, or you can always suggest your teacher to do so before actually explaining the topic. Just relate it to something and explain it briefly without actually going through the book. That way you'll have a prior knowledge about it, and once she'll explain it in more technical manner, then you will relate it to what she explained it earlier. So that way you will remember it for the longer time. The second way to transfer your short-term memory into long-term memory is by paying attention. Well, what is attention? Attention is the cognitive energy to assimilate signals into the long-term memory. It just straight up says that it transfers the signals into long-term memory. So while your teacher is teaching something, try to pay attention. That really works. The next step is rehearsal. Once your teacher has taught probably 2 or 3 paragraphs in the class, you have to revise that paragraph right after your teacher has taught it. Just straight up right after. You have to go through the paragraph and try to be like, okay, right after the teacher taught it, just read it once again, close the book and try to read it, explain the topic to yourself and just read it in your mind. That way that particular paragraph will enter your long-term memory. Well, there are also 2 types of rehearsal. The first is maintenance rehearsal and the second is elaborative rehearsal. Maintenance rehearsal is basically short and shallow, and elaborative rehearsal is basically long-term and deep. So maintenance rehearsal, I think you might recognize when we are trying to cramp up everything before a surprise test, like that's what maintenance rehearsal is. And you also know that does not help, because you probably just remember 10% of the thing or just a little bit of things, but not completely. You cannot retain that information and assimilate into the long-term memory. But an elaborative rehearsal might help. That's just elaborative, deep, and goes straight up to the long-term memory. You just have to, like where I said, first read the whole thing. It might take long, but it's good. First of all, if you are going to give an examination, it's better you have to read the whole chapter, because that way, if you first go through some notes right away without reading the chapter, then it's possible that when someone practically asks you this, you might just forget it right after. But if you read the whole chapter, you might retain a lot of information, and if someone gives you to write about it, you might be able to write it without any hesitation, because that has entered your long-term memory. And even if you're making notes, there's nothing wrong with notes, because I have even given you a few tips to make your own notes, but it's just you need to read the chapter first and then go through your notes. I'll always recommend that you make your own notes, because that is what is really going to help you. I know I have given you a few ideas of going online. There are many mediums that you can go through notes and everything, but it's better that you make your own notes. Well, in desperate times you can go on to online and go through notes, but it's always better if you make your own notes, because you have made it personally, and you can add few things in the notes which can make help you remember that particular thing, and that's what is going to help you to shift that whole little memory into long-term memory. Well, the next method is tagging or encoding. This basically I can give you with an example. For example, you have a box, and I keep my phone in that particular box, or just about a ball in that box, and just shake that little box and keep it again. Now I'll tell you to look for that ball. You look for it, keep looking for it. It's taking time to search for that ball, right? That's how your memory works. If you probably take a little of your memory, enter it into the long-term memory, because it has such a long capacity, and it is like a little junkyard of your memory. It has a bunch of things in there. So whenever some question comes in your test, you have to go in your long-term memory, search for that particular answer, and then come along. That's going to take time. But suppose if you have taken your ball and just tie a little tag with it and then put it in the box, then you'll be easily able to find it, because then you'll grab the tag and take out the ball. That's what you have to do with your memory. So how does this tagging basically works? I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. I remember a certain question answer, just because I was studying that on my terrace. So whenever I need to remember that answer, somehow the terrace comes into my mind, and then I remember the answer. The terrace is the tag for that answer. Similarly, you can create your own tags. For example, you can just relate to it about anything, like you're reading and suddenly a butterfly crosses, so the butterfly helps you remember that answer, and the butterfly is the tag. The tagging can be visual, auditory, semantic, and tactile. Well, auditory, visual, and tactile you might relate to. Semantic is basically an event, which is why tagging is extremely helpful. The next is deep processing. For deep processing, which means again shifting your short-term memory to long-term memory, there are again few methods which are quite fun. The first one is group study. I've talked about group study in my various other videos, and it's really helpful, which is why I had to really talk about it again. So group study is basically very helpful. It's because, for example, you both have studied the same chapter, and you covered a certain topic, and the other person covered a certain topic. It's possible that you missed a few points in that particular topic which the other person has covered. That way you will be able to keep a check on each other and learn that whole topic easily. And again, you're tagging the whole topic with that particular person. So whenever the question related to that topic arrives, you're going to tag that answer with the person. So as soon as that person comes into your mind, you'll write the answer perfectly. The next is chunks versus category. Well, I'll give you an exercise. Try to remember this number which is on the screen right now. Well, did you do it? If you did not, no problem. Try to do it again. See how that makes a huge difference? In the first picture, I did not divide the numbers, and there was literally no space in them. It was just a congested bunch of numbers. And in the second picture, I divided them into categories, which helped you remember that number very easily. Well, you were able to remember the second picture because it was divided into smaller chunks, whereas In the first picture, it was just a bunch of numbers which is almost impossible to learn at one go. So that's how you remember the stuff when you divide it into smaller chunks. That helps you remember it easily. Now you can also categorize it. What does categorizing mean? It's almost same as tagging. You can attach an event to that particular number. As for us Indians, 1947 and 1965 are some important events which you can relate to, which is why you remember them. Now whenever next time you sit down to study, make sure you make this checklist and answer all of these questions honestly. It's going to help you a lot.